Oh, man!
What?
It was gonna fall over, but then it's...
Well, you can describe what's happening.
You're rocking a chair.
Yeah.
And it's like almost gonna hit the couch, and then for some way, it like pulls itself back.
For some way.
I don't know how way.
It's physics. I tilt it. It's not a rocking chair, so the momentum carries it backward.
Physingus.
This show's called What Game Are You Gaming? This is episode 6 of this show. And DanDans, on this episode, we're going to talk about our E3 predictions. Now, normally we jump right into this show, myself being Ian, and across the table from me being the artist formerly known as Mike Charles. Sometimes Hefe Shahiras, you are making your What Game Are You Gaming podcast debut. You want to say hello to the listeners?
What's up, Riley?
What's up?
Nothing. Just, I got nothing.
Then why did you call me?
I don't know. I got nothing now.
Well, on What Game Are You Gaming, we usually talk about the video games we've been playing, and this week we're going to talk about our E3 predictions, because E3 is just around the corner.
Does E3 include PC games?
It includes a little bit of everything game-wise.
Well, if E3 doesn't include World of Warships, E3 can suck my fucking cock, because I just got done playing that game, and I've been playing it now since they had an open release.
Yeah.
And that game is fucking amazing. From graphics to mechanics to historical accuracy for, I'd say, 60%, because a lot of it's paper shipped thought of bullshit. And but overall, that game is amazing. Amazing. It's just so well done.
So if I ask Hefe Shahiras what game is he gaming, the answer is World of Warships.
World of Warships on the PC, because it is fucking sick.
So you're one of those PC nerds, huh?
No, it's just when they released World of Tanks on Xbox and PlayStation, it was dog dick, and I started playing it on PC, and it was amazing. And then World of Warships came out, and I was like, well, that seems way more cool than tanks, because warships are way fucking bigger and more powerful, and I was right, and it's fucking awesome.
I'm glad to hear it. Let me do this show, and then I'll call you later.
Don't be a bitch.
Bye-bye,
Be
Dan.
part of the show. I'm already on the phone.
Yeah, but I have beats that I have to get through.
Nah, fuck them.
I've got segments. I'll call you later.
Nah, it's alright.
Bye. What an asshole.
No, it's alright.
I was gonna say, what game
That's
are
what
you...
you used to always do.
What?
You used to always say that.
Well, that's alright.
Yeah. When it's like, hey, let me hit you in the face with this brick. And you're like, no. And you just be like, no, it's alright.
I still do it. I just don't do it as much anymore. That's when you started calling me Tremaine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if our group of friends was the Jackass group, I was Tremaine.
Yeah.
Because I would I would antagonize everything. And then when somebody had an argument against it, I'd be like, no, but it's going to be good. And you fucking hated that.
Oh, because I was around the most, and I saw it. I would see it fucking happen, and like no one else like caught on to it.
Yeah.
And I fucking got caught on your fucking shit.
Yeah.
Your goddamn scheminess. The first time I really like saw it was you wanted to do you wanted me and Tim to Tim Bathroom Money, Tim yours.
Yeah.
To have like a competition drinking, like taking shots of hot sauce.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're not gonna do it. Like, why are you making us do it? And he goes, well, you're like, well, okay, how about this? Like, how about you guys do the hot sauce and I'll film it? like it sounded like you were building up to like, I'll do something else that's fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to do this shit. You know what I mean?
And that's where I started getting pissed off. Because I was like, you're asking people to do all this fucked up shit, but you're not willing to do it yourself.
Well, see, more often than not, people will just do it.
Yeah, because it's like the first time they're over here.
Because I'm a good talker, too, and I can just convince people it's a good idea. Like when Brett spilled his Coke outside of Disc Replay in the winter, And then I was just like, yo, suck that up off the ground. And he was just like, you think so? And I was like, yeah, dude, like, you just paid for that. Like, you gotta get some. So he put the straw on the sidewalk and just started sucking it up. And got a mouthful of, like, salt and, like, street dirt. It was just disgusting. It was like cigarette butts in the puddle.
Oh, my God.
From who knows who. That's immortalized. That's in 616 Entertainment Presents From the Vault Volume 2. See, on the show, we usually talk about what games we're gaming, and we will, but you see, you and I went to GameStop earlier, and we walk in, and what's the first thing we see?
You bringing this up?
Of course I'm going to bring it up, because I feel like this is something we need to get to the bottom of.
Okay.
Pretty girl behind the counter working the register. Pretty girl in line, red hair, looked super nerdy, and when she spoke, sounded super nerdy. She was a cutie patootie. Let's put that out there. And so she looks over, looks right past me, looks straight to the artist and goes, a ginger!
Yeah.
And you just go, yep. And then you just kept walking past
I was
her.
like, well, yeah, what's up?
And then you just kept going.
Uh-huh.
And we walked to the other side of the store, and I go, what the fuck was that? And you were like, what? I go, that was such an opening. That was such... You're wearing your new shirt. You got your hair done up today. The beard's looking good. You walk in, and this girl exclaims in your direction to you, and you go, what's up?
So
what do you do? What did you do?
Well, there's a couple things behind this.
Yes.
First of all, like, I've been better, but I still freeze up when a pretty girl looks my way.
Okay.
But second of all, I think what happened there was like, do you remember a couple years ago when we went to the Ghost?
Galloping Ghost Arcade in
Yeah.
Brookfield.
And there was that girl, like, I was standing in line and she was looking at me. She's like, "Are you a ginger?"
And she did not have red hair.
Yeah.
So this was derogatory.
Sure.
GameStop girl had red hair.
Right.
So she was like one of us. One of us.
And so, like, with that girl at the Galloping Ghost, it's just like, she just wants fucking attention.
Yeah.
And so, like, if there's something, like, not that I'm offended by that term, but when a stranger just, like, looks at me like, "Oh my god, a ginger," it's kind of like I have an adverse reaction to it.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, dude, like, cool. Like,
Yeah, but see, I would agree with you 100%. I don't use that word towards anybody because I think it is kind of fucked up to just call someone by a feature.
The first time I met Amanda,
yeah,
she was like, "Hey, another ginger,
Yeah.
how you doing?" And, like, that was totally cool.
she specifically said another.
Yeah.
saying like,
And,
I
like,
now have
the
someone
fact
like
that
me.
this girl had red hair didn't even, like, really register with me.
Yeah.
I just, like, I was kind of like it was less me, like, being froze up because a girl was talking to me. I was kind of honestly put off by it. And then after it happened and I walked past her, I was like, "Oh, that's kind of stupid."
Yeah. Well, that's when I brought up. I was like, "What are you doing?"
Well,
That
you
was
saw
such an
the
opening.
way I looked. I think I turned to you and I'm like, "The fuck?" Like,
Yeah, I was behind you at first, and then
Yeah.
when we got to the back of the store, you turned around and looked at me like, "What was that?"
Yeah, like,
and I was doing a "What was that" in a completely
I
different
know,
way.
I don't know. There's something like, because it's just like, I don't know. I was put off by it.
Yeah.
So
See, now, but when I brought up that was a conversation waiting to happen, did you consider going to talk to her after you realized, like, oh, she included me with her?
yeah, I
It
did.
wasn't you're
but,
a ginger.
like, she wasn't even there. She was.
still there for like 5 minutes
I don't think she was there.
She
for
was.
that long.
because I kept bringing her up because I thought maybe you were going to go over and talk to
No,
her.
you brought it up one time,
Mm-mm.
but
I wasn't there.
you were there.
I was just referencing Liam Neeson.
No, but I appreciate you giving me shit because I probably should have said something.
You definitely should
But-
have said so.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, to me, it felt like it sometimes feels like they're just want attention more than anything else. And
See,
it's
if
like,
she-
I don't want to be like, I don't know.
You don't want to feed them.
Yeah,
If she didn't have red hair,
I'm very
I would have made a comment towards her because I know you wouldn't.
I'm very
non-confrontational.
like no, I'm very aware of like I never want to be a guy that like gets taken advantage of by like girls and stuff. And so in that situation, I felt like I think it kind of puts me off because I feel like maybe I don't know, like
you keep starting and not going anywhere.
I know,
but I do want to hear you out.
I think on my like now that I'm analyzing, like this was kind of just like a gut thing, and it wasn't ever like a conscious thing, but like I don't ever want to be that guy that it's like talking to the girl who only wants to be validated by a guy because a guy's talking to her, but she has no interest in that guy.
I don't think you need to worry about that with a girl in a GameStop.
Right, but and like I didn't have time to rationalize any of that. It was just kind of like that was the gut reaction I had to that situation. And also I'm just a shy person in general, and it's not even like with girls. Like somebody says something, like I'm like I don't know what the fuck to say.
And it's weird because you and like I guess it's not weird. It's just funny that you and I are so different.
Like I would like
as soon as she said a ginger, I had a response immediately, but I was just like, she's talking to him. What am I going to answer for? I was just going to go to the back of the store because I figured you were going to talk to her. When she went a ginger, and the tip of my tongue was just like, it's weird to have two. You find two in the wild in the same building.
That would have been fucking perfect.
Yeah,
that would have been great.
But I didn't want to say it because I was like, he's going to have something. But then you just walked right past her. That's okay. It probably wasn't meant to be anyway.
No, nothing was going to come of it, but it would have been
I
nice.
don't know. You could have made kids.
I don't want to have ginger kids.
Why?
I don't want to put them through that.
The ginger gene dies with you.
Yeah.
That's kind of dark.
No, I'm just kidding.
Your kids will probably have red hair if you have kids.
Maybe not. Depends on who I'm Mur.
Who you Mur?
Yeah.
Frank Mur? Artist. What game are you gaming? / games, because I have multiple again. Last week I had like 3 or 4.
Yeah,
it was like a month ago.
I guess I've got multiple. Uncharted 4 for my PS4 escapades, and then I've been playing...
Hold on, pause. Well, let's talk about Uncharted 4, because I'm playing as well.
Okay.
I decided I wanted to do this show every other week. And then Uncharted 4 came out, and we decided that we were going to do a spoiler cast of it so we could both finish it and talk about it. Neither one of us have finished it yet, so we can't do that spoiler cast, but we can talk about it a little bit. And I think the ship on the spoiler cast has sailed, so whenever we get to that, we'll do it. But it's not like
we're right at the... Wait, so you do want to do spoilers, or no?
No, it's still too early, and because we haven't marked this as a spoiler cast.
Okay.
So, but we could just talk about Uncharted in general. You can go ahead and start.
There's not really that much... there's not that much shit to spoil from where we are, because I think we're right about the same spot, but... Yeah, I really like it. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I haven't played it in about a week, but that's just because like I've been busy, and I really want to get back into it. I plan on getting back into it soon. I've heard some complaints about the pacing.
Yeah.
And at first, I was really enjoying it. Like it starts really slow, and I kind of like that because I feel like with some of the Uncharted games in the past, there's like the game starts, usually there's like a few chapters that it's a lot of climbing and puzzles, and then you hit like once you get like a quarter through the game, it's just like nonstop like bang 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 shooting and stuff, and then like you got the few like amazing set pieces, and then and I always kind of liked the like the first quarter of the games where it was more like shooting or like puzzles and climbing, and I was enjoying the slow-paced aspect of it, but around like chapter probably 11 I got to the point where I was like, okay, now this is like getting a little slow. But like right when I felt that, I feel like it picked up again. So that's one thought. How do you feel about that?
My thing with Uncharted is, and I was going to save all these comments for the spoiler cast for Uncharted 4. People were talking about because it's written by different people. It's not written by Amy Hennig, who wrote the first 3, and it's directed by different people as well. Because Uncharted is handled like a movie. It's like written and directed and all these things, and it's acted out. Like, the people who are doing the voices for these characters are also doing the motions you see, which is not fucking nobody's doing that other than Naughty Dog, for the most part, especially on this level. But this took 6 hours to feel like an Uncharted game, in my opinion.
And you've told me that several times, but what exactly do you mean by that? Why?
It's just like Uncharted is funny and light, and we get in and there's boom boom boom, and it's how did we get to the boom boom boom, and we have some boom boom booms on the way to that big boom boom boom. You know what I mean? Where this one started with like a boom, like it didn't even feel that big. And then we rewound so far for like an hour. And then we cut forward and just did some like monotonous shit that was beautiful while we did it, but there was no weight to anything. And the only character that we had at the time was Nate, who I fucking know Nate. I've known Nate for 10 years, since Uncharted 1. You don't need to sell me Nate. You know what I mean? Like, the scenery of doing it was gorgeous, but
I'm trying to figure out what...
The scuba diving.
Oh, that was weird. Yeah.
And then I'm talking to my boss, and my boss, like, I felt like the whole thing with the scuba diving, which took me like 40 minutes to an hour to get through that part with everybody talking, was all to get to the part finally where the boss is just like, I got this job for you. And it's a super low-level scam that Nate can do in his sleep.
Yeah,
and
it's
Nate
not even
turns
that.
it down
Right.
because he's a family man now. That's what this whole thing was getting to. Nate doesn't want to do it anymore. And then we find out like 20 minutes later, and Nate's just like, well, let's fucking do this big thing, you know, because somebody else shows up.
Yeah,
but it was like...
It's understandable why we would do that.
That was slow, man. That was really slow.
I liked it, though.
I liked it, but it didn't feel like Uncharted
I enjoyed
at all.
it because to me it was like, yeah, we do know Nate, but it's like this is a totally different like world for him, you know.
And I do respect the way they're doing it, and I'm not really complaining. These are just observations. I'm not bearing it at all. Like, Uncharted so far has been fantastic.
You're not saying like it doesn't feel like Uncharted, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. You're not disliking the game.
Yeah, it didn't feel like Uncharted for 6 hours, and then after that, for the next 4.5, it has.
Okay.
And it has felt a lot like Uncharted with while we are headed somewhere, I'm getting banter between 3 characters that feels the writing is on point. It's still perfect. There's beautiful scenery while we're doing it. Someone's looking off to the side and you're like, oh, would you look at that? And I can click the button and zoom in on it because it looks amazing and you don't want to miss it. It is Uncharted from here, but this one does not have its claws in me even close to the way the other 3 did. Like, when I get to something else I'm playing, like, I just picked up a new game. You know what I mean? It's almost like the end of Daredevil Season 2.
Right.
Where it's just like, I kind of just wish I knew. Because I'm at a hard fight right now, and the fight's just cheap. Like, it's fucking stupid. Like, I'm in a spot where there's no cover, and then they give me a piece of cover, and the guys blow it apart immediately, and I'm playing it hard so I can only take 2 bullets, and I'm just like, where's the skip button? Like, I just want to see what me and Elena are going to do after this. Like, the combat in this one, a lot of it has felt like a drag to me.
See, I've loved it.
Combat to me feels like a drag.
I haven't. Well, that's why, like, in some of the previous Uncharted games, I feel like it's felt like a drag, because I feel like once you get through a quarter of the game, it's just 3/4 of combat. And then like they'll mix it up with like some of the set pieces where you're have to hang off shit and like, ooh, this feels different. But sometimes I feel like I'm just going through corridor after corridor, killing guys, and that's why in this one I feel like it has been slow, and there's been a lot more of like climbing and puzzles and slow parts where when there is combat, I'm like, yes, like now I'm craving combat. And I don't know, I've actually like the combat to me feels way different in this one, but I really enjoy it. Like that part you are stuck at, we talked about, I really didn't have much trouble.
Maybe there's
only
super
like 2
clear
or 3
thing
times
I should be doing.
It's not super clear, but to me it was like I would just have to like my strategy there was like keep moving. Like there were two like hooks where you could use the rope and shit, and it's like so like shoot this guy and then be like okay like I'm out of ammo, so I'm gonna fucking swing on this rope and get over to this side of the mountain, take out these guys, jump down, hang down from the
See,
ledge.
I haven't even tried
like,
that. Like,
that's like I'm always just like because there is you're right. There's not that much cover. Like you're hanging from the elevator, and you can get the guys from here, but there's guys over here.
That's what I keep getting overwhelmed. I keep getting fucked from three sides.
Right.
And there's like I haven't seen hooks anywhere to grapple. There's one below the elevator.
Okay, maybe I'm like just like jumping from surface to surface, but I like that. I don't know. That's like really, I really enjoyed that because I feel like the previous Uncharted is like the combat is more challenging in this for sure because I feel like the previous Uncharted was always like you just hide behind this wall and like pop out, shoot a couple times. Go back in, and there's never anyone behind you. Like you can't get surrounded. Like this one, you get fucking surrounded quickly. And I've enjoyed like trying to figure out like
I don't like the stealth
action. Either. I do.
I really like. I don't like the combat in this one. Has mainly felt like a drag. Like I really feel that way.
I like the stealth. There's the one specific part where you're in the Jeep. And I think it's like one of the first chapters you're in Africa. And you'll like get to a little section where there's like enemies. And you can go in and try to like stealth them or like go guns a-blazing. And I really feel like you can take it any way you want. And like that's like what, and with a lot of stealth games, I'm always like, oh, if I get caught, like I restart. Where Uncharted, I never ever do that. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go and try to get stealthy, and if I get seen, well, that's just the fucking story. That's just like, what happens.
Clack, clack,
yeah.
clack, clack.
And like, there's this one part I remember that I was marking out so much because I was getting like, there was a sniper, and so I took a few guys. Like I was like, that's my focus. So I took a few guys out. And then, like, I climbed to the tower and took out the sniper. And then somebody saw me while I was on the tower. And, like, guy, like, climbed up. And then, like, there was, all of a sudden, there was a bunch of dudes, like, right on top of me. And, like, the one guy climbed up and I, like, punched him off the building. And I'm, like, fucking, like, fighting guys, like, hand to hand. And it feels to me, the combat feels, like, way more organic. And, like, more exciting. For sure.
I can see that.
And like you can like do like the team takedowns that just they just kind of happen, like you don't even try to do them, and that's
you
cool.
and the other character are in the same spot, and then you like double rock bottom a guy. Yeah, those are pretty cool. Let's put the pin in Uncharted 4 right there, and if we want to do the spoiler cast soon, we'll do it. Maybe that'll be the next episode. Maybe it won't. You know what I'm saying?
The last thing I'll say is that I also really like how personal this story is. Is that like we're kind of getting like more of a history of the characters, which I like, and I like the sentimentality of it. Because we're like we've been with these characters for 3 games now, and like we really don't know that much about them when you think about it. So I like that. But yeah.
Yeah, we just found out. No, I shouldn't say that. We'll talk about
I like
it.
the story.
Yeah.
I really like the story so far.
All I'm saying is we found out something we've kind of been wondering, but we didn't really find out anything. We just found out a thing, and it's like, okay, but who's that? Like, who were these people? You know,
Sure.
We'll talk about it more when we can actually say, when we can put a fucking red spoiler tag on this. I bought Dead Island Definitive Edition on PS4. They just put out Dead Island and Riptide together in a pack for like $40, and I was totally gonna buy it. And then I went to the PSN and I saw that you can get just both of them individually for $20 a pop, which I didn't know they were doing. So I bought Dead Island. Dead Island is one of those games that last generation people either loved or didn't give a shit about at all. And I played through Dead Island and fucking loved it. It took me like 30, 35, 36 hours, and I never even got close to tired of smashing zombies with baseball bats and like steel pipes and shit. And then when you finally do find a sharp weapon, and you use the sharp weapons like sparingly, because you're like, okay, I'll save this for one of the big strong guys. I'll just cut his arms off, and then I'll beat him up with a blunt object. Like you manage which weapons you want to use because your weapons can break. I fucking love Dead Island. Is it a great game? It's on the cusp. Like, because it, like, gameplay wise, I think it's super fun and it's addictive, and the setting is a maze and the graphics are a maze.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it has a little bit problems running. The first one did. Second one ran way worse.
Yeah.
That's the story. It's this fucker's chugging. But the first one, from what I hear, most of those problems have been solved on the PS4 port. The only thing that's kind of fucked up is some of the physics have been toned down. So, like, the water doesn't, like, react to you as cool as it did on PS3. Like, beach balls used to be able to kick around, and now they're, like, sedentary. Like, they don't move anymore. Which is weird, but who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? It's just a little thing that they did that they could put power into something else. But I like... Dead Island was one of those games. It was the first game in a long time, years ago when it came out, whatever year, like 2011, whatever year that was, that I was like at work thinking, why am I at work when I can play Dead Island?
Mm-hmm.
And right now I'm thinking, why are we doing this show when I can play Dead Island?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is with this game, dude.
Yeah,
I fucking love Dead Island.
I played it for a couple hours when it came out, and I enjoyed it for a while, but I just lost interest in it.
Yeah.
And like I definitely see the appeal for sure. Like I really liked Dying Light, but I thought we were talking about this while you were playing. The environment and like surroundings of Dying Light was very boring.
Yeah, it was very drab and dark.
It was like
and it looked
brown.
dry. Yeah.
And like where the setting of Dead Island is fucking awesome.
It contrasts the violence,
Right.
and the fear of everything.
Yeah, you're on like a
'cause it's
tropical
beautiful.
resort.
Yeah.
And that was the one cool thing I felt, where I feel like it's way it feels like a very real, like the most, like it feels like a realistic apocalypse, like zombie apocalypse, where in what now, I mean, what I mean by that is the ambiance of it. Like I just remember at times like walking down the street, and you'll see like a few shambling zombies in the street, and like you can take them out no problem because it's like one-on-one. But early on in the game, like you look over and there's like a pool with like the sun umbrellas and the lawn chairs and stuff, and there's just like 1,000 zombies over there, and they don't really see you because you're far enough away and their perception isn't very good. And so it's just like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna go over there. But like it's just like I remember really enjoying that feeling of like this is like a fucking like zombie world right now. So yeah, it wasn't, I don't know why I couldn't get into it. Like obviously the combat's a little clunky, but I don't know. I was able to deal with that. I don't know. It just
I don't think it's far off from the hand-to-hand combat of like Skyrim.
No.
You know
You're right.
what I mean?
No, for sure.
And Skyrim is a game that's beloved by everyone who picked it up.
Right.
My question is, would you be willing to give it another shot for $20 on the PSN?
I don't know. There's just other stuff I'd rather
Yeah.
spend my time with right now. Like, yeah, I would give it another shot, but
Here's what I
just
will
like
say.
I don't know if I'm willing to commit the time.
If there are DanDans listening to this right now and they haven't played Dead Island or Dead Island Riptide, which is like the pseudo sequel, or they haven't played Dying Light, if you're gonna play one of those games, play fucking Dying Light.
Play Dying Light. Dying Light
Is Dead Island but better.
Yeah.
Like it's what they wanted Dead Island to be. And when they announced Dead Island 2, I was like, yeah, it's called fucking Dying Light. And since then, you're like, whatever happened with Dead Island 2? I was like, well, it's basically been canceled, and they're completely reworking it. I don't even know if it's ever going to come out. I think these HD upreses of Riptide and the original are them like trying to recoup some of the money of having to start over.
Yeah.
So, play Dying Light if you're going to play any of these games, because it's the better one. But, yeah, dude, I fucking love Dead Island too. Dead Island as well.
Yeah.
What else you playing?
I've been playing Hitman Go
Hitman
on the Vita.
on the Vitter.
It's a cross buy. You can get it's on PS4, but if you buy it on PS4, you get it on Vita too. Now I got it. There was like a flash sale. It was only like $4 or something. It was like, I've heard good things about it, and at first I was like, when I started playing it, I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna really like this game. Like, I don't know if this is really what I want. Like, I've seen what it is. It's like a tabletop game where there's lines and there's spaces. It's almost like a grid. And then there's like enemies and obstacles, and like there's certain different kinds of enemies have different kinds of patterns they make, and you're like taking turns. So like for example, there's these guys in yellow suits. They're all like guards, you know, and they all wear different colored suits. That's how you identify them. There's the guys in yellow suits, and they basically just go in a straight line back and forth, and so they will. Like when you move in any direction you want, that you can, they'll move. They'll move in one of their directions. And it's a puzzle game.
Yeah.
Like it's 100% a puzzle game where you have to figure out like the timing of like, okay, if I move here, he's going to move over here, then I can get by here before he gets back. And the reason, so like first couple like levels, I don't know. I just got into it. Like I started to enjoy because it wasn't that challenging of a game. There were a few levels that were really tough, but the real reason I stuck with it is because it's a fucking super easy platinum. Because the way the trophies are set up is each level has 3 objectives. So one objective is just like finish the level. So the way you finish the level is there's either a like finishing spot, like you have to get to this point, or there's like a target that you have to kill, which you can kill by landing on their spot, like chess, you know. So that's one objective, and then there's usually ones that are like complete the level in less than 20 turns or something. Some levels have like a briefcase, which is just like an extra like side thing where it's like collect the briefcase and get out. And that's basically most of the trophies are just completing all the objectives. So I finished all the levels. Like I got all the, like I beat the game. I finished all the levels, but now I'm just going back using a guide to get every last objective. So I should have that platinum in about a week.
Yeah. What plat number would that be for you?
29.
You're catching up to me.
Hell yeah.
I think you got like 34.
Because I just platinum Severed a couple weeks ago, and that was 28.
I've been playing Severed, but I talked about that already. You talked about that already. So the DanDans know. Last episode, we talked about Severed. Play some Severed.
What do you think with it though?
It's not as good to me as it was to you. It's good, but it has no hooks in me whatsoever. I think it's kind of... Colin likes to use the word obtuse when he's talking about games. This game is obtuse as fuck.
Sure.
Most of these enemies that show up, I'm supposed to just know how to fight them. Like, they showed me how to fight one enemy that was like, when he attacks, go against him, and then attack. And then they showed me a different one where I can attack the whole time and try to, like, they taught me how to fill the meter. I'm having trouble dealing with some of the enemies where I, like, parry them, I go against them, and it just doesn't work at all. I'm having a thing where when I get into the focus mode and I cut their limbs off, every time just one limb falls. I'm having issues with it.
Yeah, I had some early issues with that stuff too. The limb thing, you have to be very accurate with where you're cutting. You have to cut on the lines.
And there's no time, but what's one of the upgrades you can get?
Yeah, and that was the first thing I upgraded.
Okay.
Was like more time to get it, and yeah, the parry thing took me a while to get used to, but it seems like every time, like if someone's like arm is up here, you try to like swipe it like this.
So I should be starting at their shoulder and swiping to their hand.
Yeah.
I've been starting at the corner of the screen and going all the way across their body, up to the shoulder, up to the hand.
You probably don't have to do that. Like, from what I've remember, if you do longer strikes, it does more damage.
Yeah.
the parry you don't really have to do like a long strike. It's just about
A little
like the
drag.
placement
Yeah.
and like the direction you're going, but you can just kind of like I was able to just kind of be like,
So yeah, I've been playing some Severed. It's okay. When I get deeper into it, I'm an hour in. It's a 6-hour game, so I'm still in the beginning. I've been playing a little bit of Mario Kart 7 on the 3DS. Motherfuckers know what Mario Kart is. We don't have to spend a lot of time on this. It's fun. I love Mario Kart.
Yeah.
We have a Wii U and Mario Kart 8 set up at work, and the other day I just decided not to get lunch, and I just played Mario Kart 8 for my break. And I did 200cc, which they added to the Wii U version.
Ooh.
It was one of the pieces of DLC. I was my boy Yoshi, because he's my brother. So I played as Yoshi, and I finished 4th overall, even though I was rusty as fuck. I think that's pretty respectable. I love Yoshi, man. Yoshi's my brother.
Yoshi's a good dude.
And I always fucked with EA UFC every once in a while, but I don't have to spend a lot of time on that. I did Let's Play Friday for it, which you can watch on youtube.com/616entertainment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Tara and I teamed up and played you in that trivia game the other night.
And I beat you guys.
You beat us because Tara threw the game.
Yeah, but before she threw the game, I was winning.
No.
Yeah.
No, we had 900 points on you.
Dude, listen.
We went into the last round, and she got 2 wrong. And then after that, she threw the whole game.
We went into the last round, and I was losing.
Yeah.
And
by a substantial margin.
No.
900 points.
That's not that much in that game.
That's like 4 questions.
Not in that. Like if you, dude, in the last round, if you get one question right, it's 1,000 points.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get a question wrong, you
lose
get
1,000.
15. You lose 1,500.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
And well, it's the fucking.
It makes all the rest of the game not mean anything.
But no, I was watching the fucking thing, and we were both still being competitive. And once the second she dropped below me, that's when she started throwing the game.
Which we could have easily recovered. Like, one question came up, and before I could even lean over and like whisper the answer into her ear, she just threw it on purpose.
Hey, that's a win, man.
You can count it if you want to. Now, the bet that we had over the last episode, the Angry Birds movie box office, I said that movie was going to do between 51 and 70 million at the box office opening weekend.
And I said 50 or below.
You said 50 or below. It drew opening weekend. It was like, I think, up near 100. So Price
it was like 130.
Yeah. So Price is Right rules. Neither one of us won.
Yeah.
But I also didn't lose.
Yeah, neither did I.
I'm just talking about.
If we did domestic, I would have won.
Maybe you should have specified.
I should have, because I would have won. Because domestic was only like 39, which isn't good.
I think it did cap to 40. It got up to 40, that's pretty fucking good.
I guess so.
Yeah. For something that fizzled out in like 2013, yeah.
I guess that's still all right.
You been playing anything else lately?
No, that's been about it.
So let's talk about the topic of the show. Tots. I was waiting for you to do it, and you just didn't do it. We're gonna do some.
That's not our show, though. I didn't want to steal their shit.
We'd steal most of their shit.
So
we're gonna do subscribe to Kind of Funny. We're gonna do our E3 predictions because E3 is coming up. And for the DanDans who don't know, on the 616 Entertainment Podcast, God damn it, I can't speak. Exclusive to SoundCloud and iTunes. I have said before that my favorite time of year. Some motherfuckers like Christmas. Some motherfuckers like Valentine's Day. My favorite time of year is E3. Hands down. That's my Christmas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
E3 is right around the corner. We got all the announcements coming up. We got all the game reveals coming up. Probably a new PS4. PS4 4K rumors. So we're going to do 3 predictions apiece. All right?
Okay.
And do you want to go first or you want me to start first?
I'll get mine.
Okay.
So the first thing I wrote down was Watch Dogs 2 will be announced. And then I Googled it. It's already been confirmed that it will be at E3. So I changed it to Watch Dogs 2 will be announced with the release date of December 2016.
This year, this Christmas.
Now that's I know that's risk.
I know that is Ritz.
But I don't think so. I kind of did try to do one that was a little bit out there because my other ones are maybe a little bit more reasonable.
Mm-hmm. You're going for the Colin Moriarty. You're putting fucking little divots on these so you can get half points.
No, dude. All that is, the only prediction there is the release date because the game is going to be there. That's confirmed. Mm-hmm. But I don't think Ubisoft really has a Christmas holiday game coming out that I know of, because I don't think they've said that they're not going to continue to do Assassin's Creed for annually. There'll be more games, but from what I can think of, they don't have one. So I'm sure that game's been in development for a while. Mm-hmm. So I think they might just be boom, it's come out in 6 months. So that's my number one.
That's your number one.
You think I'm crazy?
No, I think you're wrong about December.
Okay.
I think it comes out in November
Ooh.
or October. It's not going to come out right next to Call of Duty, which I feel like is usually November, so it might be October. But I do think it's right around the corner. It's coming out this year. My number one is, and I think this is a big one. WB Montreal reveals their Superman game, and it comes out next year.
Wow.
That's my prediction. What do you think about that?
I love it. I mean, I don't know if it's going to happen.
I don't either. There was those leaked screenshots. You remember those?
Yeah, but that could have been bullshit.
It easily could have been bullshit. It could have been a fucking mod that somebody did in one of the Arkham games.
Yeah.
Which was one of the first things I thought. But I do think, what is WB Montreal doing outside? They did Arkham Origins. What have they done since then? You know what I mean? They've been working on something. And in Arkham Knight, not the main Arkham trilogy ignores Origins ever existed. But even in Arkham Knight, they referenced, you know that guy in Central City, who, the red blur?
Well, that's
and
what
they
I
talk
would...
about that freak flying around in Metropolis.
They referenced the other Justice League members. So do you think they would do a Justice League
Rocksteady will do that. WB Montreal ain't getting that.
Okay.
But I don't think Rocksteady is doing a Superman game. I think Rocksteady is going to go from Batman. They're going to graduate to a grander thing. And not that Superman's not grander than Batman. First of all, I don't think he is.
I don't think he is.
A Batman thing sells better than a Superman thing.
No.
But I think when they move on from Batman, which I think they are now, it's going to be for Justice League.
Okay.
But there are people now. This is not my idea. Tim Geddes brought this up on the Kind of Funny Games cast. He pitched that he's heard rumors that Rocksteady might be working on a Suicide Squad game.
I doubt that.
I do too.
I doubt
but
that. But
my first prediction: WB Montreal Superman video game next year.
That's cool.
I feel pretty good about it. I just don't know if it's an E3 game, but I think it should be.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your number two?
Which one should I go with? Red Dead Redemption 2.
Ooh, 3. Oh, Redemption 2.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Red Dead 3.
Right.
This is basically a shoe-in.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
The fucking map leaked.
Well, I told you I had a tough one, and then any points. It's not confirmed, so I'm not cheating.
That you very Corey Fisher. It's
not
confirmed.
I know. I felt that as it came out.
That's where he gets it from. He gets it from his daddy.
Now, I wonder. I was thinking about this. If they're gonna call it something else, like Red Dead, remembers. I don't know. Because it was Red Dead Revolver was the first one, but nobody really, I don't know, that didn't really have much of an impact, that game. And then Red Dead Redemption was the huge one that everyone loved. So they could go the way of having it a different title. But Red Dead Redemption is the game everybody knows, that everybody loves. So it might sell better and be a better idea for them to just call it Red Dead Redemption 2.
They won't. I don't think people call it Red Dead Redemption. I think people call it Red Dead.
Oh, what if it's just called Red Dead?
Nah, I don't like it. I think it still needs to abbreviate to RDR.
But see, that's the problem is going forward, they're kind of fucking locking themselves up.
No, there's a lot of R words.
Yeah, but are they going to make sense for the game?
Well, I said that I think the end of Red Dead Redemption falls apart, and I think they tried to do too much and they shoehorned too much in. Spoilers for a game that came out in like 2011. You have 3 seconds. Okay, spoiler time. At the end of that game, John Marston gets killed. The main character you play as gets killed, and you play as his son like 15 years later, and you kill the guy who like was using him, and then it wound up being the one who killed him. I thought that could have been a whole other game, and it should be called Red Dead Retribution or Red Dead Revenge. Like both of those work. That's 2 R words right there. Colin Moriarty said on the Kind of Funny Games cast, he thinks it will be called Red Dead Revolution. And it could be about the Spanish Revolution. Or
it could not be about it, but take place during it.
Right around
and then,
it,
yeah, that could be interesting.
There's a lot of R words that they could use.
But yeah, that was just a thought.
Red Dead Rising. Yo, Red Dead Rising would have been great for the title of Undead Nightmare. They fucked up.
Ooh.
Well, they could just do it again.
Shit, dude.
Yeah, they could just do it again.
That's great.
Because the next thing will probably have a zombie thing. Dude, did you play Undead Nightmare?
No, I should.
So you'll never do it now.
I know.
You're not going to play a PS3 game anymore.
No, I still do sometimes. But yeah.
My next one, I feel like, is my shoe-in. Ed Boon reveals Injustice 2. Now, people have talked about Injustice 2, and Ed Boon is a master troll. And he recently changed his Twitter icon to it's the Mortal Kombat font. It's black with the white text, so it used to be XL because when Mortal Kombat XL came out. He changed it from the X to the XL. He just changed it now. It says II, and people are like talking about, does that mean Mortal Kombat 11 or does that mean Injustice 2? It clearly means Injustice 2 because the Justice League movie comes out next year. And with the shit that happened in Batman v Superman, no spoilers because that's still pretty new, we might be looking at like an Injustice-style storyline in those movies. Where we could have like almost a direct correlation between Injustice 2 and the Justice League movie, in a way. I don't think we will, but it's possible. But yeah, Ed Boon reveals Injustice 2 and it comes out in 2017.
All right, cool. So my third prediction is we hear something or just like get a really short, small teaser from Sony Santa Monica about a new God of War.
That's gonna happen. That's also a shoe-in.
We're not. I don't know, man. I feel like that game might be kind of far away.
How?
And if so, they might not talk about it this year.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a shoe-in. I think Red Dead's a shoe-in. But that's why I say like it's gonna be a teaser. We're not gonna get like gameplay footage.
I think we get gameplay.
Okay. I don't think we will.
I think
it's gonna be along the lines of that first Uncharted teaser.
Yeah.
It's like, you left me in a hole, which I don't think really like has anything to like. Yeah. I think the story changed so much. Like looking back at that.
Well, and
so
they were
funny.
purposely vague.
Yeah. I see what they meant. Like I think. Well, whatever. I think it's going to be along the lines of a trailer like that.
I think we get gameplay.
Okay. I hope so.
I think it's not called God of War 4.
I think it's
called God of War : something. Lauren eats colon.
Now, do you think that they're going like that? The rumor is true that it's like Norse
shit?
Mythology.
Yeah, we saw those leaked screenshots. Those are 100% real.
Let me see them. Let me look. I don't know if I've seen those.
It's a Kratos-looking dude. He has like the distinctive.
See, I've heard it's Kratos too.
How? Time travel? Is Kratos immortal?
Like
those are very different time periods.
Well, he kind of is immortal. He's been to hell 3 fucking times, and he just climbs out.
I didn't even think about that. Dude, how cool is that? That we play as him climbing out of hell.
Yeah, it is a different time period, but
I don't think it's Kratos, and I don't think it's I think it's going to be like an anthology. Like God of War will basically turn into an anthology where we went God of War 2, God of War 3. And there was the PSP titles, like the little spin-offs in between. But I think this is going to be new. I don't think it's Kratos. I don't think it's going to be attached to that at all. I think this is going to be another storytelling under the umbrella of God of War.
Oh, is this what you're talking about?
Maybe. There was one that I feel like we were seeing behind him.
This one?
Yeah, that's just concept art. Those aren't screenshots. But
this looks like a screenshot.
No, those graphics are dog shit.
Yeah, but it might just be like
super zoomed in.
Yeah,
possible. I think you're right. I think they will show it, and I think we might even get a little bit of gameplay.
I love that idea of
the Nordic shit?
Yeah, like I had that idea. I don't know if I talked to you or if I was talking to someone I knew at like college or something, but I had the idea that he should just fight like other like
people,
like mythological gods, and like my initial thought was like Roman gods, but they're the exact same thing.
Yeah, it's the same shit.
It's the same thing, they just have different names. But like Nordic gods are very different, because you've got like Odin, who's basically just Zeus, but there's Thor, Loki, like all there's things that people know too, which that's the thing, is like you kind of need recognizable things that people are
people
familiar
know those
with.
names just from the Marvel movies.
Well, I know. but yeah, like Thor's the god of thunder. Like there's probably a god of thunder in Greek mythology, but like he wasn't in any of those games. He's not like
it's Raiden.
He's not like known like Thor is.
Thor's. So that's your third prediction?
Yeah.
My third prediction is PS4 price drop.
I think it's pretty likely.
PS4 price drop is definitely going to happen. And they talked about it on the Kind of Funny Gamescast a little bit. Someone predicted there would be a PS4 price drop because they were going to reveal like the PS4K and the release date for it and everything. I'm not going to go that far. I'm just saying for sure the PS4 that we know and have is dropping in price. Big time.
Did it already drop in price though?
Yep, they're going to drop it again.
Interesting.
In my op-ed, yeah. I don't want to talk about VR or anything, I don't care.
That's the thing, I wrote down PSVR, and I was going to like picture like release date or something, but like the release date and price are already out. So like I was like, there's nothing I can really predict about this.
What is the release date? Is it October?
I think it's October, yeah.
That's close, dude.
It's very,
that's really
very close.
Like
like they're going to announce like a fucking new game for VR? I don't...
Yeah, there's...
I don't know.
Dude, I can't fucking wait for E3, dude. I can't wait. I love E3. And when is it? Can you Google it real quick? Because I'm not entirely...
It's July, right? Usually?
No, June.
Is
it's
it?
Usually mid-June.
Oh, man.
I hope it doesn't fall on 61616. Because I'll fucking cancel 61616 for E3. I feel like June 14th is sticking out in my head. In the meantime, while he's Googling this, I want to remind everybody to listen to the 616 Entertainment Podcast, which is exclusive to SoundCloud and iTunes. You should watch Let's Play Friday every Friday, clearly. And Lore vs. Food is up now, so check it out.
It's the 14th, 15th, and 16th.
Only the first day matters.
You sure?
Yeah. None of the press conferences happen on the are on the third day.
Oh, you're right. The first two
day,
are like Sony and Microsoft.
Sony,
and
Microsoft,
Ubisoft, and
yeah, those are the important ones.
Will be on.
Like I call off work for those. Are you gonna do that? Are you gonna call off work and we're gonna have an E3 party?
I don't know.
You didn't last year.
No, probably not, because if we're gonna do something for 616, I'll have to take some time off for that. So I don't know. It's gonna be tough. Let me just. Usually the stuff I want to see is at night. Usually Sony's is like in the evening.
Which it wasn't always like that.
And I can watch it at work too.
Yeah.
I basically just like listen to the press conferences and then like jump in. I'm trying to look for the schedule of like who's doing what, but I can't seem to find it right now.
Those I think have been set in stone, but they're not extremely important. You know what I'm saying?
I want to know when Sony is.
It's probably that first day. It's probably June 14th. before we get out of here, I need to know. Are we gonna start doing this every other week?
I don't care.
Let's do it.
It's just hard to do, like, because, like the last time we were both playing Uncharted, it's like, well, we need to play this more.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of tough to.
We can do it. We'll manage,
I
and
know
we'll
we
always
can,
and
but
we'll have.
I'm just saying, look what happened.
And we're not gonna call it topic of the show. We'll call it like the headline conversation or something
Okay.
like that. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna DanDans follow you on Twitter.
At the Artist 616.
They can follow me at IDS616 and on Instagram at 616 Entertainment. I just plugged the other 3 shows, or whatever they are, however many there is. I'm not going to do it again. You know what I'm saying? We love you, DanDans. We're going to see you 2 weeks from now. Not next week. 2 weeks from now. You know what I'm saying?